The night coming up. Pete Hooley and Jack Heverin. Great to be joined by Pedro Bradshaw, one of the new star recruits of the Cairns Taipans leading into NBL 25. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that, man. Glad to be here.
How's it all gone so far? I got to catch up with you yesterday for a little bit of a feature interview, learn a bit more about you. We've seen you on the floor now, but tell us, sum it up a little bit about since arriving at Cairns in the NBL, how it's been.
Oh man, like yesterday, getting the opportunity to like actually play somebody else finally. I think we've been getting tired of beating each other up the past several weeks, but no, man, it's an amazing league. You see why, you know, so many stars and guys from especially America are coming over here just to join and be a part of something as special as this. So it was a lot of fun for me. So we got a really young team, but we got a lot of weapons, a really great group. So I'm excited to see what we can do. So
you've been part of the Summer League in the NBA before, and the NBA experience. This is the Blitz is what we're almost trying to create that summer. Can you feel that?
Yeah, I definitely feel that. With everyone being here in the same place too, you know, you play a team and then you're eating breakfast with them that morning. So it's kind of funny though. But then, you know, obviously when you know guys from certain teams or certain coaches, you know, you get to reconnect with them. So that's always good.
The 36ers shot clock down to single figures. Davis has been very, very aggressive. We're going to see a lot of that this season. So, Pedro, I mean, you're still getting a handle on who's who in the league, but just from a style point of view, what's different to some of the other places that you've been? Is it more physical?
It is very physical, but the pace is also very high. You know, I think it's second in the world compared to the NBA and the G League. So in that regard, it's not too crazy. But I do notice. I was asking Shay Lee yesterday during the game. I was like, yo, man, like, is it normal for the NBL team to press each other the entire game? He was like, yeah, bro.
You probably
like,
asked the wrong
you asked the wrong guy.
That's true.
Not everybody's Shay Lee, I'll tell you that much.
That's true. That's true. But no, he's like, yeah, bro, like, it's just like that here. But I kind of like that, though. You know, it makes the game that much more up-tempo and fast-paced and competitive, so I kind of enjoy it.
Tell you what, Jack, the sit-down with this man right here, getting to know a bit about him. Great player, but he's a funny man. And we
need more of that.
And I spoke to a couple of his teammates as well.
There's only a couple of us, so we need more of that.
As I was leaving, they're like, dude, Pedro, man, that dude is an absolute character.
Hey, man, I just enjoy making people laugh, man, and trying to keep the mood light. You know, I think, you know, obviously as professional athletes, man, we deal with so many pressures, you know, off the court and on the court. So it's kind of nice to have that bright spot every once in a while where you can just laugh and smile and, you know, just kind of help yourself get through it regardless of what's going on.
Wild air ball there from Brody Nunn.
Back-to-back air balls for the Jack Jumpers.
As we mentioned, they are on the plane tomorrow to head to the Intercontinental Cup. So I'd say we're seeing about a 50 or 60% paced Tasmania Jack Jumpers here tonight. Getting some run into the legs of everyone. Two more for Kendrick Davis.
Know much about Kendrick Davis before?
Yeah, I've known KD's game for a while. The past couple seasons, man, he had a really great year in the G last year with Santa Cruz. I think he averaged 17, 18. Really great guard off the bounce, shifty, can really shoot and score it at a high clip. So he was a huge pickup for Adelaide, man. Him and DJ, I think they'll work really well off of each other.
He's got that reputation for sure, and talking to some G League coaches around Summer League. That's what he can do. And again, the NBL, and you'll learn and see, Pedro, with the high pick and roll. It's very pick and roll dominant, and Davis takes another one, which right on cue. I think that's the second time Jordan Crawford's fouled a three-point shooter, and yet Scott Roth is not budging. No. That's peak Scott Roth in the preseason. But that is his reputation, playing off the ball screen, getting into the gaps. When you think about DJs as an elite shooter and Isaac Humphries rolling, I think we're going to see a whole lot of that.
Yeah, that's a huge big three right there for them. And again, Isaac Humphries has been a prominent figure in this league for a long time, so you see why he's so dominant, and DJ too. And again, adding KD to that mix, man, it's going to make them really special. So excited to continue to see what they can do.
Are you now? I use this word because before JJ Redick became the head coach of the Lakers, I was a big podcast fan of his. I love listening to the way he talks about the game.
All right.
Basketball sickos, he calls it. The guy, you can't get enough, but you look at the game, you analyse it differently. You're here. I know you got games to play, but are you one of those who just loves watching basketball anytime you can?
Oh, my gosh, man. That's pretty much all I do. Like, I'm a big TV watcher in general. Like, I watch a lot of different shows and movies and things, but 85, 90% of my days, man, I'm going home after practice and watching film on certain guys that I like to watch, or you know, like I had Coach Kez, he clipped up 12 minutes of film on DJ Hove for me, you know, when he was with Cairns, because before we played our first game the other night, I was just wanting to kind of get a feel for things and how I would be able to find my spots and my certain shots within the offense. And obviously he played under 40 a couple of seasons ago, and he's a great player, kind of similar games in certain degrees. So that was kind of cool to see. It really was. So like I said, man, just continue to get adjusted to the style of play and the pace and the tempo and our offense in general. You know, I think we're continuing to gel with each other too. So that's a big part of it. But the blitz, man, it's a huge opportunity for that. It's very similar to the G League Showcase. You know, everybody's in the same place again, and you're seeing everybody, and there's NBA executives walking around and a lot of media walking around. So it's a good time, honestly.
We see Jordan Crawford with his speed on display, much like we're talking to Kendrick Davis. Your niche, 3-and-D type player. I mean, that's what you've made your name for and your reputation. Jordan Crawford doing that, sprinting down the sideline. How do you try and stop that in a defensive mindset?
My biggest thing, man, with a lot of like smaller, shifty guards, man, like because I've had to guard the likes of like Carlik Jones, who was the MVP of the G League, you know, Sharif Cooper, guys like that. Those are usually my assignments whenever I'm in the game. And my biggest thing, man, is they're so shifty and quick, man, and have a great handle. I just try to like get up on them and kind of make it a little tougher and use my length. But if they're too fast for me, then I'll give them a step or two, man, and just try to use my length to the best of my ability. And, you know, if they're a tough shot maker or a tough shot taker, I'll try to just make them shoot over the length and live with the results at the end of the day. But Jordan Crawford, another really great player that's been in this league for a long time. I think is he from Cincinnati?
He is from Ohio, yeah.
He's from Ohio, yeah, so that's not too far from Kentucky. There's a Pro-Am league in Cincinnati that he plays in, so I've been able to kind of see him the past several years too. So he's an amazing player, man.
I know you said you watch a lot of game and a lot of film. Go back and watch Game 5 of last year's championship series.
That's just the first quarter.
Jordan Crawford's first quarter was out of this world.
Really?
I think he had a 20-piece in the first quarter. Kind of put that game in Tassie's favour on Melbourne United's home floor.
Oh, man.
I can see the way you're looking at it. You are going to go and watch that, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. Of course, man, because I've seen highlights and stuff, but it's different when you actually get to sit down and really break down a game and just get the total feel for it, man. Because sometimes just watching highlights, obviously, or just looking at the box score after the game, man, you don't get the full, you know, the full thrill and feel of everything, what was going on. So
Pedro Bradshaw chatting to us here at the NBL Blitz. Timeout called 35-18. Adelaide in control of this one midway through the second quarter. So just take us back, if you can, to the recruiting process, because Pete and I are both unabashed Adam Ford fans. We love that man. He's so good for the league. He's so unique. How does the recruiting process happen? When does he start to get in touch with you, and what did you talk about?
I actually talked to my agents a couple of years ago about how much I love the NBL. You know, I've only been a fan from afar for so long, but just seeing how it's exponentially grown the past several years has been amazing to see. You know, it's really dope. And also, again, my goal is to like officially be in the NBA and have a real opportunity there. So you've seen so many guys over the past several years come in here and going right over there. You know, Torrey Craig being a main guy doing that. So there's several others that's come after him. But no, Coach Forty reached out to my agent a little bit before Summer League. I got a Summer League opportunity this July with the Charlotte Hornets, so that was amazing. And so going into that, I had this deal here, and that kind of gave me a little more sense of security. So I was kind of able to go out there and just fully enjoy it, you know, and play with house money. So it was fun altogether, man. And then I officially signed after the first few games of Summer League and was locked in from there.
I'm a bit flat about that because I'm very close to 40. And he spoke to me probably a month before, when they clearly had already had you in their prospects in the future. And he said, yeah, we've probably got our guy. He's like, I can't give you the name yet. And then I went to cover Summer League for the second time for the NBL, and they still didn't tell me. And I was like, man, I could have caught up with him. I could have actually gotten to know him while I was over there. Some people do like to say that when we both have fresh cuts, we're like brothers. You see it? Do you see it?
I see it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have the tats, though.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, it's very, very.
Because I don't see it, if I'm being honest.
just two good-looking roosters, mate.
It's all a compliment. It's all a compliment. The tats are crazy, though. I asked him, I was like, hey, man, did these tats on your knuckles and stuff hurt? He's like, nah, Mike. All right. But no, Forty's an amazing coach, man. He's very unique. He's unlike any coach I've ever played for, man, up to this point. And there's a method to his madness in everything that he does. You know, every situation, offense, defense, the way he coaches, even all the way down to the way he ties his shoes. So there's a method to literally everything he does, and I love that about him. And he has such a fire and competitive nature about him that, you know, it makes guys want to run through a brick wall for him.
Let's finish there from Ruben Tarangi. Late call-up for the Jack Jumpers this season with Jack McVeigh headed to the NBA.
I think he's going to thrive in Tassie, to be honest, Jack. And there's Kendrick Davis stopping on a dime because Ruben Tarangi, we remember when he was dominating in Brisbane, 6th man of the year, most improved player, and there he is again. That's a really smart veteran move. He was going to pass that, realised the whistle was going to come and put it up. But I talked to Mika Vakona the other night during the game for Tassie. And he was talking about Jack McVeigh leaving, and he said that Ruben, he said, I think he's going to be massive for us. And obviously they've got a connection, but the way that Scott Roth plays, the way that Scott Roth coaches, and the way that Ruben can fit into Tassie's system, I think he's going to go back to that confident Tall Blacks.
Yeah.
That's the Ruben Tarangi everybody wants to see. Runs around for the national team.
Tarangi's the best Tarangi, isn't it?
No doubt about it. You had a chance to go out and do anything since being on the Gold Coast?
Nothing crazy yet, man. I want to go to Movie World. I want to go there. I think Heath is supposed to hook me up with some passes.
Oh, come on, Heath. Oh, that probably won't happen there.
Uh-oh.
He's still getting into it here. Kendrick Davis and Jordan Crawford. There's a little bit more to this.
It sure is.
I like it. I know it's just pre-season, but let's get that competitive. 2 elite point guards. One of your other new teammates actually had a few words to say on the call. The microwave, Rob Edwards.
Oh, yeah. That's Rob, though.
He looks fun.
Yeah, man. Rob's a hoot, man. I've known him the last few years, you know, obviously competing against each other in the G League, and he was always my matchup, too, whenever I was in the game. So I always had the responsibility of trying to somewhat stop or contain him. It's a lot easier said than done, as you guys could probably see the other night. But no, man, Rob is an elite scorer, man. Like he's got such a strong frame and a strong body, man. He can really shoot the ball, get to a spot in the mid-range, get to the paint, you know, get to the free throw line. Offensively, there's not too much he can do, and then defensively, when he's locked in, man, he's a really great defender too. So he's a huge part of what we want to do this season, and he's a key piece for us.
That is a thing of beauty from Milton Doyle.
It's a bucket. That's a tough bucket.
He is a bucket, Milton Doyle. I reckon we're going to get back to all NBL caliber MVP type season from Milton Doyle. The silent assassin.
Humphreys rolls to the basket. Foul on Magnay or Doyle. Take your pick. So Movie World while you're here. What else while you're in Australia? What do you want to tick off in the next 6 months?
Great Barrier Reef, right?
Yeah, that's definitely on my bucket list.
It's just around the corner from where you are, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm just worried about getting sunburned.
Now, why is that? Because the story is going around the Cairns Taipans camp that one of your other new teammates found out the hard way.
Yeah, man. He didn't go out there with any sunscreen, man, and came back with a crazy farmer's tan and was red as a lobster, man. So
he said a couple of days later he started peeling.
Yeah. I don't want those problems. So, but yeah, definitely, I want to do that. I want to continue to see the beaches. I'm all for amusement parks and things like that. So I'm usually more of a homebody. You know, once I leave the gym, I'll only leave for like food or any essentials I need at like the store. But like I said, you're in a whole new country, man. It's beautiful here. The people are amazing. So I just want to continue to enjoy all that, you know, in its essence.
You know what? I completely believe what he just said, Jack, because there was no talk of gillies.
Wow.
He laughed, so he must
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I haven't been in there yet, though.
That's a rite of passage, really. There's certain things in life you've got to do once, Pedro. You don't have to do it twice, just once.
Right. Just got to experience it for that one time,
And then you make your own mind up after that.
As Milt's starting to be a little bit more aggressive. What I've seen from Milton Doyle and John Crawford these last couple of minutes is that maybe Scott Roth's had that conversation with, hey, we're going to put you on ice at halftime. And maybe they don't. Maybe they come out and try and get a bit more of a run. But they look like two guys who have been told they're going to play the first half and then they might sit down.
I can't help but sort of just jump ahead and have a look on the NBL app, Pete. For the first time that Adelaide and Tasmania play each other during the regular season, to see Davis and Crawford go at it again. This could be box office, this matchup.
Yeah, if they're going to start doing this in the Blitz and going back and forward, I love it. Because, again, they've got chips on their shoulder. Everyone always talks about, I mean, Jordan Crawford, chatting to him all last season, everyone's always counted him out. He's too small, he can't achieve this, he can't do this, and no doubt Kendrick Davis, people have said the same about him, but in the end, you know, Pedro, you've been around long enough. When you're a bucket, you're just a bucket.
No, that's true. That's true. Sometimes you're just in the zone, man. Ain't nothing nobody can do. But seeing KD and Crawford go at it like this, even in the preseason, man, it's kind of cool. It really is. Like you said, that's box office right there, man. You got to get your popcorn ready when these two are on the court head-to-head.
Nice work from Walter Brown, the Kiwi. Turned the ball over, but won it straight back. And again, it's an 11-point game. It sort of blew out at one stage to 16 the difference. Humphries with a little push. And there's the defensive wares of Ruben Tarangi. So what, every team's got different kind of ambitions at the Blitz here, Pedro, about what they're trying to get out of it. Have you guys as a team spoken about what you want to get out of this week?
We have. Obviously, 40's an extremely huge competitor, and we are too. But the biggest thing for us is this is our first time playing anybody other than ourselves for the past 5-6 weeks. So our biggest thing is continue to get better internally, you know, and focus on ourselves more. Obviously, we're out here to win every single game, preseason or not. So the biggest thing is just making sure we're good internally, you know, knowing our play calls and continue to get a feel for each other. You know, just continue to build that team chemistry, and then by round one, we're ready to go.
Zach Humphries on his way to the basket.
Now, just to be clear, you playing tonight? You playing tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I thought I'm coming over here, and I was like, oh, looking forward to catching up. And I was like, oh, maybe you're just sitting out.
Well, I was sitting by my boy Taryn, and Heath was just like, hey, man, you want to get on there? I was like, yeah, cool.
Is this what you had to do to get the tickets, was it?
I guess so.
I
guess so.
Fair.
I'll remind that if he says no at first.
You just make sure you get those tickets.
Yeah.
Hold that man to his word.
And this is fun, too, for me, because, this is what I want to get into after basketball.
Okay.
So this is what I went to school for. I studied communications at Bellarmine University. You know, I got my bachelor's degree in communications. So this is everything I want to do. I want to be on. That's tough. It's a tough finish. Yeah, I definitely want to be talking and on the camera a little more. You know, I feel like I got the face for TV. But you know, we'll see what happens.
If you do say so yourself.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I can be a little modest, you know.
You are always welcome at this desk.
I definitely appreciate that. I really do.
You might need to have a. I'd be tuning in if you do it like a road trip vlog this year for the Taipans or something. I'd be.
I don't know about that one.
Get somebody else, of course, to follow you around.
Yeah.
You don't want to put. You got to focus on hooping.
Yeah. Maybe if Jazz is with us 24/7.
Yeah. All right, we'll put it out there. Come on, Jazz. Just bit of a GoPro action.
Good pass.
36ers beat the press and finish off Sunday Detch.
So Sunday Detch does well. The corner three ball, loves the corner three ball. Is really good at spacing the floor. And Adelaide have just had an answer to everything. And this is interesting here also too. A bit of a 2-3 zone. I think with how shallow they are in some positions, I think Adelaide are going to try and play a lot of zone, especially early on with no Jarrell Martin for the first few weeks.
Crawford inside for Krislovic. Humphrey's got a piece of that one too.
What's going to help stay in that zone is if you keep getting stops like that and it works.
One of the league's leading shot blockers last season. Been a very, very impressive showing here from Adelaide. Kendrick Davis, step back. No good that time, but he's going to be a lot of fun. Have you seen much of the Sydney Kings, Pedro, who you're up against next? What are you expecting there?
I know they're obviously a really good team on paper. Historically, they're always a great team. They have great rosters. Having Xavier Cooks doesn't hurt either. But no, we watched some film on them. But again, it's preseason, so win, lose, or draw. As long as we, I'm sorry. As long as we compete hard as we can, man, and focus on ourselves, man, I think we'll be happy with regards to the outcome. But we're playing to win every time we're out here. But no, I know they got Xavier Cooks, obviously Cam Oliver, Jalen Galloway. I think we played a couple games against them when he was in the U.S. Yeah. But yeah, they got a lot of talent over there, man. So they always have great rosters. So I'm excited to see what that looks like up close and personal.
That game coming up at 7:30 tonight. Check that game out on KO Freebies or on YouTube if you're joining us from around the world. All part of a week's long worth of action here at the NBL Blitz, proudly brought to you by Experience Gold Coast. feel a bit sad in many ways. Only here for a few days. I'd love to stay here for
I know, the weather.
the weekend beyond, to be honest.
It's a nice finish.
That's what DJ's going to have to continue to add to his game, because every team's going to try and run him off the three-point line. And he's got deep range as well. You're talking all the logos, decals. Milton Dorr tries to answer straight back. But he's not being afraid to put his head down, getting in the lane, maybe really working on that floater. Try and get across from the bigs.
He's deep from Walter Brown that time, the youngster. Did well not to foul.
There could be a real big opportunity for Walter Brown this year. With the departure of Jack McVeigh and some question marks around what they need going forward, and Scott Roth has shown he's not afraid to throw a young fella in there, he might be ready for some minutes.
Only played 12 NBL games so far and pretty limited minutes in all of those.
The pass.
Inside Krislovic. He's fouled by Kendrick Davis.
The fan watches a lot of games.
Yeah, for sure. They don't miss a stream, man. Even with us playing the time we play, I think it's 4:30 or 5:30 back home.
You had to hit them that you were coming on the air before, man.
I didn't know.
Tuning in now.
I didn't know, man. He pulled me up to the side. But no, they're probably knocked out sleep right now and got their alarms ready for another hour or so. But yeah, man, they're my backbone, man. They don't miss a beat. So I love them to death. I miss them.
Tassie, for as well as Adelaide's played, the start they got off for, they're going to be around 12 points down at halftime, and they'll take that as a big win. Even though, if you watch Scott Roth, we had a camera on Scott Roth cam in the Blitz. It would not change whatsoever. That man is just cool, calm, and collected, just waiting for the real thing. Even then, he's pretty cool, calm, and collected on the sideline. Yeah, you know, if he's not, then something must have happened.
Must have been a really bad call or something.
Bad
Scott Roth's getting
cigar,
worked up.
maybe.
Bad cigar.
Yeah.
Yep. Very selective about his choice of cigar. The final play of the first half. Davis getting creative. It's the 36ers who put 49 on the board in the first half. It's our first time seeing them at the NBL Blitz. I think we know pretty quickly and pretty clearly, Pete Hooley, that this team is going to be able to score.
They are, for sure. They've still got pieces to come in. If they bring someone in to replace Jarrell Martin early, or if he gets back to the Jarrell Martin we remember, then there's going to be no problem putting points on the board. Defensively will be the biggest one. And after that, who knows what they can achieve.
So 49-37 at the main break. What happens next from a Tasmania point of view, we'll have to wait and see. They are, as we mentioned, jumping on the plane tomorrow to head to Singapore to play in the Intercontinental Cup. So a challenge for them to try and manage their minutes in this second half. Pedro, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate
that,
man.
It's been lovely to meet you.
Thank you, man.
Really excited for this Cairns team. They're a bit of an unknown, but that's quite exciting in its own way.
No, for sure, man. We like it like that. We want to be able to put a lot of people on notice and surprise a lot of people, man. So, like I said, man, we got a lot of weapons, man. I'm really excited about our guys, man. I really am.